I'm not the type of person to put myself out there and like try to convince people of my ideas. Percussive techno, that was all a bit like dirty and grimy, and we wanted to bring that back, you know? Nowadays, I'd like to see the criticism as a form of
flattery. We have a little bit of lore between the two of us.
We do, yeah.
We have done 2 interviews before,
Yeah.
but the last one was 5 years ago, exactly.
Damn.
Cem is one of the founding fathers of Herrensauna, an iconic institution in Berlin. Truly has developed into an institution in my lifetime. And a creative force. But I guess 5 years ago when we were speaking, did you feel like that was like you were locked into that forever, and now you've kind of evolved into new directions? It's a part of you, obviously, still, but you've liberated yourself from that soul identity.
I think I am in the process of it still. Like I'm working through it, you know. That's the realization I had, was like, okay, I'm not going to be forever just a promoter and like just like necessarily tied to one thing that we've created in the past. We're gonna ride it, and we're gonna like make the best of it too. But individually, each of us had our own visions and own like goals to like find different forms of self-expression. You know, that's like the reason why I moved to Berlin, was like to find that and to explore in really different ways without like the pressures of living a really commodified lifestyle and you know, the pressure of like expectations from my culture and so on. So I had to really like tap into that and understand that like I had been holding myself back too, because it takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of like effort to be this party person, to be at your event all the time and like to talk to everyone and always be available and always have a smile on your face and like, and also always indulge whenever people want you to. So
yeah, like I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. I came to see you, so now take this bump with me.
Straight up, it is like that. I think a lot of people are looking at the way that Herrensauna has evolved and thinking to themselves, whether they're in a collective or, I don't know, they're even just independent musicians, like, how can I model myself after that? But I know you've also received criticism, like, for your success.
Of course, yeah. But nowadays, I'd like to see the criticism as a form of, like, how do you say it? Like a form of
flattery.
Flattery, exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely, because all the actions of those people that said so show otherwise, you know? Like,
they're like, I hate
that
shirt.
shit, and then go on to do the same, or like try to like promote themselves in a similar way, you know? So you know, that's flattery. It's cute. Yeah, I don't think like many Berlin collectives had done that before.
No, I can't think. Had anybody done, for example? So you guys worked with Carhartt, you worked with Buffalo, and I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Had any collective done something like that in our era?
In our era, probably not. Especially like in this like queer realm and like in the Berlin nightlife scene, not really.
Something that I could never understand is like, why are you mad at queer underground experimental artists getting their bag?
Exactly. Like it always comes from those that actually never had to really struggle in their life, that always like talk about preserving the underground, coming from like trust fund families and stuff like that, you know.
Also, the people who pretend to be deep fans of the culture are the first people to criticize artists finding a way to live.
Absolutely, yeah.
Also, I just don't understand, especially when you have roots as pure and organic as Herrensauna. Like, how is spreading that message or that aesthetic a bad thing for humanity?
No, 100%, exactly. Like it has no foundation, this sort of criticism. So that's why I can only relate it to forms of envy or jealousy. You know.
You just released an album.
Yeah.
Which is gorgeous. Tell me a little bit about that, like the motivations in moving more into the fine art world, whether or not you feel at home there, and if that came from, I don't know, maybe feeling a little bit bored or just wanting to explore a different side of you, or...
I mean, I think I always wanted to make music and like express myself musically and use sound as like my language, you know, simply speaking. And I thought I had found it through DJing at some point because it gave me a platform to like showcase other people's music, but mixing it together. I thought this was like a very nice art form in itself to create like music on its own. But then I like at some point realized that there's a certain limit to it. So yeah, in the end, like in my relationship to Mauro, who's like part of our collective, who's also a visual artist and also had a very similar music taste to mine, you know, through talking and like hanging out together and like exchanging so much of our love for art and music really like invigorated me to finally make the step, you know, and start doing it and start producing and experimenting. And yeah, it's I know it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Also, I was even thinking, as an aside, as I was preparing for this interview or just catching up with you, I was like, wow, if I should take relationship advice from anybody, it would be you, because you have like very successful projects with like one ex-partner and one current partner. Like, if I've ever seen a model of love.
It's okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, when did that happen?
That happened last summer.
Okay. Do people know, is that common knowledge? Okay,
it's common knowledge.
Because I haven't been going to Mamba Negra at RSO, so I didn't get the tea.
that was when the tea was hot.
How did I know?
You know.
How did I know? That's just pure intuition.
Really? It was a public divorce.
Was it?
It was talked about.
Fortunately, the only people who watch this probably already know, and I'm the last person to know.
They're like, obviously.
But and wow, two
exes that I worked with and created with. It's like a.
But what's the status now? I mean, he's a part of the collective.
Yeah, we are still best friends. I mean, we were best friends when we got together. That's why it was so fruitful and like confronting.
This is giving lesbian, because this reminds me
of... It's super lesbian. I never expected it to happen, and then I think I allowed myself to feel in general. Wow, very tacky.
I'm so...
I allowed myself to
Okay,
feel.
you were raised in a Turkish family in Vienna.
Yeah.
That's like double non-feeling.
Exactly. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I had to build up a certain facade, and then being gay also.
Oh, right, I forgot that. I forgot
to
that.
The mix.
Yeah, sorry, forgot that.
Yeah.
Well, let's focus just on you then. You as an individual with this beautiful album / EP / The Bells. Mm-hmm. Tell me.
Yeah. I was just getting obsessed with the sound of bells, like noticing how just I don't know, there's like an opposing feeling to bells where they can make you feel comfortable and calm. They're used in different cultures as like a meditative sound, whereas here, more in the Western world, we relate it to alarming and to sort of catch people's attention. That was like also a recurring theme in the performance that Mao and I developed, and that was like mainly from his idea. So the idea of repetition and like labor obviously opened the door to use bells, and I started collecting a lot of different bells in the end, because I just loved the texture of it and loved how I could manipulate them and pitch them down, and you know, get like their overtones, and you know, just play with the sound, the rich sound that it has.
Where does one shop for a bell? Is there,
Yeah.
is there bells are us? Is there?
Bells are us. I'm screaming. I mean, actually, that's a great name. I mean, I went to a Kleinanzeigen, looked for bells there, found some cowbells, and some different type of doorbells, and then like even Shinto bells, and then even went to Portugal and went to these like what are they called? Like, sort of like religious shops, or like where they sell all kinds of like gear.
God gear.
God gear. I guess maybe because I'm such a rational being, I am interested in the spiritual and like how people can really like put themselves in a trance state through meditation and through religious belief. It fascinates me because I'm maybe emotionally a little bit detached from it, so I see it as some sort of research.
All of the quizzes are coming to mind. Like, what's your Myers-Briggs personality, or like your numerology, or all of this stuff?
I'm like one of the more rare ones, which are projectors. In the beginning, it sounded really lame because it was not like someone that like
no, that's like the visionary.
Yeah, but it's also someone that like needs to be called or needs to be invited to really excel in what they do. Interesting. Yeah, and I kind of really like relate to that. Like, I'm not the type of person to put myself out there and like try to convince people of my ideas. I pretty much hold it back to myself, and like I will revel in it and like think about it, but like I need someone or like something to come and pull me out of it.
To invite you,
to invite me in, yeah. I'm like a
Interesting.
ghost or like a vampire that's like waiting
No,
to
you
be
mean you're like this
home.
emoji.
Yeah, I'm like, cuckoo, I'm not that bad.
Please, please let me in. No, but that's interesting because that just shows how many opportunities have come your way, like for your art and for Herrensauna. Like, I just assumed you guys were chasing.
That's
like,
interesting, yeah.
Pitching.
I've been lucky in that sense.
No, I don't think.
Or maybe I'm just like, I've attracted it in a natural way.
What is on the bucket list for this year, or even just like what is on the artist bucket list?
I mean, I would love to perform more live. Maybe even collaborate with more visual artists and work on soundtracks for films. I think that's very exciting. Because I always get inspired by visuals and like imagine how I can interpret it in sound. So I think that is something I'm really looking forward to do. And yeah, I'm also working on my own album that is like more so about my own, you know, concepts that are not so much like in connection to other people's work necessarily.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so that will be much more of an emotional deep dive, like a sort of like a diary-focused work, you know.
I feel like now is a good time. With every artist, I play a game, and some are known games, and some I invent myself.
Okay, let's go.
So with you, I would love to play a game called Set List. And basically, I have some set descriptors, and you just tell me small stories about them. So what was your longest set?
My longest set, it's strangely enough, it was in China. Yeah. Surprisingly, right? And
Well, I bet you kind of slayed in Asia.
Yeah, no, that's why I love going there. Yeah,
so. Yeah. I feel like they just get it.
One of the places that really made me enjoy DJing again. Tag is a club.
Did you play all night long?
I played all night long. Yeah, I played all night long, and I remember at some point that my eyes just turned to the back of my head from like exhaustion and other certain substances while I was playing. But it was just such a like cathartic feeling of being in a booth for almost 10 hours.
10 hours.
10 hours in this tiny space that has high ceilings, but still quite confined to like 150 people, and the energy was just off the roof, and then at the same time very introspective again. It just like went through so many different phases, and you only can go through it while like physically pushing yourself through it. It's almost like a spiritual experience too.
When friends of mine started playing all night long.
Yeah.
I just had so many logistical questions. I was like,
how do you get it to? Yeah.
And I was like, do you get hungry?
I mean, I don't know if you've heard, like, there are a bunch of DJs that already talk about having like a playlist folder with just like tracks to go pee to that have like long, like 8-10 minute tracks.
I have not heard this,
no?
but this is the missing puzzle piece in my
exactly. That's when it all makes sense.
What was your hardest set? You can interpret that in any way that you want.
Hardest.
Either most difficult or like, I don't know, maybe you played for Nipt or something when you were questioning
now
everything
that everyone
in your life.
hates hard techno, I'm like, I can do it.
I mean, you guys have been on an interesting journey with that because...
I mean, you're right. That's when I thought we're completely losing it. We're like, oh my God, this is getting out of control. People think we're a hard techno collective. I'm like fucking losing my mind. This is never what I envisioned.
Also, I was thinking, and people think of Herrensauna as hard techno.
Yeah, never.
But this was true in 2017, 2018.
Yeah,
you know?
We did play a more like irreverent sound, but that was like all based on the 90s attitude, the acid movement.
Yes.
And like distorted drums and percussive techno that was all a bit like dirty and grimy, and we wanted to bring that back, you know? And I don't know, I guess we set the tone for something then to...
There's such a curse in being a trendsetter.
I know.
It's insane.
It just always gets bastardized.
No, and being ahead of the curve, it's like humiliating often.
It's humiliating. That's why you just don't want to be.
Yeah, you're like,
really,
me and my bells.
100%, yeah. Like I'm locked in my room.
Me and my
so I don't hear these like
exactly.
distorted kicks anymore now.
I'm telling you right now, bells
are the new. They will be in techno.
You heard it here first. The bells are coming. Yeah. Okay. Most difficult set. Was there any set that you like passed out at, or like something terrible happened, like something fell on you, or I don't know, maybe you've just had blessed sets?
I mean, something did fall on me, but I didn't think it was really that bad. It was like.
A person?
A person. No, just like pieces of the roof just fell on top of us because it was too hot and humid. I don't know. It was just like I don't know what it was. It was like.
Lightweight.
Just like crumbled, lightweight.
Okay, because I was thinking the American in me was like, sue.
Sue, yeah, sue Trésor.
Yeah, where's your money? Terrible.
Imagine.
No, we would never sue Trésor.
No, we wouldn't.
No. Best set ever.
Best set ever. Fuck, I wish I could remember.
That's how you know.
That's how you know.
You're like, they're all gone.
I will never forget the last set I played before the pandemic, and that's maybe a bit cliche, but it was in the school in Amsterdam. It was the last party they did, and they invited me and Jazz to play 2 sets, and they basically booked the night around us and like the people that we kind of liked, and so it was like a super special night already, and I almost didn't make it because I forgot my passport. I was in transit, stuck in Spain. Managed to get to the Netherlands and like in the last moment, and played this crazy back-to-back set with Sylvia in the first night, and it was this weekender. And then slept a few hours and went back to play Musique Locale. And I think it was like in the late afternoon. I took over after a Devious One house set, and then. I think I proceeded to have the best 4 hours in my life. Like, It was just like such a joyful, like, loving energy around me, people towering all over, like, behind me, and getting really hyped about every fucking transition that I did.
Aww.
Yeah, and back then I still played records, so it was really just like the anticipation of failure is always there, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you have this, like, feeling that anything could fall apart in any moment, which makes it
edgy,
more special, edgy. Yeah, but in a good way.
Like if you had to play a song at this after hour right now.
Okay.
After hour.
At this after hour.
Imagine we're feeling as good as you did at the school in this moment. What would you put on?
I'm known to be an after hour vibe killer with my music.
Okay, really? Because you're going.
Yeah, I will put on something like weird and like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tibetan like chanting. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I have a funny anecdote. So I was like, okay, let me see what new music he's released. I go on Spotify and I'm like, Cem, and I'm listening to this electronic song. You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
And I was like,
tech house?
did he move to Ibiza? No, I was shook. I was like, whoa, this is very different than I listened to another one. And it's given Balearic something. Finally, I'm like, this cannot be him. And then I look at the Spotify photo and I'm like, different Cem.
I know.
This was what was going through my mind.
Book me verknippt. You hear that?
Yeah, book me.